Hi there, and welcome into this reading. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope your week is off to a wonderful start. Unfortunately, I forgot my microphone, so hopefully you can hear me well. I am outside next to a river, nice little windy area, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me over that. So I just got done doing a collective message where the energies were sort of all over the place and very confusing and not exactly the type of message I like to deliver. So thankfully Spirit came in and sort of guided me to do a new type of reading for whoever might come across this, with the intention of finding out what is blocking your happiness, okay? And what I know is I have 3 different decks and they all have a happiness card in them. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and give, that's crazy, I just cut and happiness is right there. What my intention was is to shuffle the decks a bunch and find what is blocking your happiness. So the card that's on top of or right before the happiness card in all decks, not just this one. And hopefully we'll get a nice clear message, okay? So, that's really funny though that I cut to happiness. And happiness and love, okay? So perhaps love is the way to happiness for you. But let's not speculate. Let's just get one more shuffle in. And let's go ahead and see what's blocking happiness. So we have imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. So what I get very strongly from this is you have a bunch of ideas. You have so many ideas, so many creative projects, so many little things that you want to bring into fruition. And that doing so would make you incredibly happy, would fulfill you in so many different ways. But you're resisting expressing that creative side, that creative aspect of your mind. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is very clear. You sort of have to lean into that imagination, but then how you express it is the important part, okay? How you express these creative aspects, how you literally make them manifest from your mind into something tangible, into something experiential, right? Out of just being an energy into being something tangible is how you transform this imagination, this creativity into happiness, okay? So don't let concerns around what you create and how you express yourself prevent you from living in your happiness. And what I get from this is when you finally do trust yourself enough to express your imagination, to manifest whatever it is that's sitting in that beautiful mind of yours, you'll become aware that you are on the right path because you are happy. Okay? And that's what this card says. Not only that, but again, I get this idea that you're going to be supported and people are going to sort of sing your praises or encourage you and say, wow, that's really beautiful, or wow, I love that, the creative way that you express that. You have such a beautiful imagination, that sort of thing. So as soon as you actually sit down and do it and you share it, you're going to get that confirmation. You're going to get that support that you're after. Okay? So that's your first message. Let's go ahead and see. This is the Soul Journeys lesson card. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Sacred Forest. Sacred Forest Oracle, to see what might be blocking happiness for you. Oh no, no bug bites. One more. Okay. Let's see. Where is this happiness card? Playfulness. You know what's funny is I was like, it's probably in this top section that I didn't go through, and it is. Okay, so we have happiness in reverse. Interesting. So I'm being called to actually, instead of take the card that's covering it, which is growth, 44, I'm being called to take what the card underneath it, because happiness is in reverse. Weird. Okay. So what is blocking your happiness is a lack of freedom. Okay. Or it might not even be that you are lacking freedom. It might be your perception. You might think that you aren't free. You might be in the mindset of an eagle in a zoo, right? In one of those enclosures, when in reality, you're out in the wild and you can soar freely and roam freely as you feel, right? But very strongly, what was blocking your happiness, or what still might be, oh wow, look at that. 2 unicorns in the corner of both of these cards. And this unicorn has its head down, unaware, and this unicorn is head up and about to take flight. So it feels like you might need to lift your head up. You might need to try and seek a higher perspective in some way, to realize that you're no longer trapped, or you're no longer bound, or you never were, and that you have the freedom to soar and see things from a different perspective, to bring in this happiness, to unblock the flow of happiness. And with this being a 7, it feels like, well, obviously, being happy, being joyful is your divine right. I'm getting very strongly that your guides want me to say that, like out loud, like scream it almost. Being happy, being joyful, being content, being abundant is your divine right, your spiritual divine right. You are born onto this planet, in this realm, to experience happiness and joy. That is your divine right. So don't allow the perspective or the perception of being trapped to prevent you from that. And look, there's even sort of like a fogginess here, like a cloudiness here, and this eagle is soaring above it, unimpacted by this unclear moisture, mist. Yeah, I'm getting very strongly that your wings are yours. So spread them, flap them, use them to elevate yourself. And your wings are obviously you don't have wings unless you secretly do, and that's cool too. But what I get is your wings are your words. Your wings are your thoughts. Your wings are the actions that you take in the energy of freedom, in the perspective of freedom. That inspired action to go visit a place you've never been to take up a hobby that you've wanted to for so long. Those sort of actions where you're free and unbound from other people's opinions, that's what will unlock this happiness for you. Okay? And this happiness, so with it being a 7, it feels very much like your guides are waiting to deliver it to you, but they can't deliver it to you if you're trapped in a frequency that's lower than what they can sort of come down to reach us at. You sort of need to lift your head up, like I said, and start flapping those wings, and know that the wind is going to carry you and uplift you to the frequency high enough where your guides can come in and deliver beautiful blessings to you and keep you in this happiness energy. Okay? That message came through a lot clearer than earlier ones, so definitely try to do little things for yourself. It's very strange. I just got what for one of you love a certain type of tea. You crave it, but it might be expensive, or it might be like a tea that you can only get at Starbucks, and you don't want to patronize Starbucks or whatever it is. Get the tea. Make the tea for yourself, because in that moment that you have, and in that little ritual, as you make the tea and you have such gratitude for it, and then you take that first sip and it's just joyfulness, it's worth it. It's worth it. So do it. Make that cup of tea for yourself. That's very specific for somebody. And then let's just go ahead, close out your message with one last look at what might be blocking your happiness. Okay, so something weird just happened here. Half my deck flipped into itself. Mischief. No shit. So I'm just going to call on my spirit guides, my angels, my team to go ahead and, boundaries, remove anything that might be trying to interfere with this message or interfere with me. Please and thank you. I know I don't even have to ask, but just to reiterate, any sort of trickster spirits that might be around trying to influence this in the wrong way, you're not welcome here. Spirit team, go ahead and handle that. Thanks. Okay, so let's just see. I know the happiness card here is a ladybug. Let me start all the way at the beginning to make sure I'm not skipping it. And we're going to see what card is covering happiness, what card is preventing happiness for you. Okay? Same thing that we've done for the last two. It's the last card? No. Okay. Modest fortitude. Modest fortitude. Okay. With modest fortitude coming in front of happiness here, the horse and the bluebell. Do you see the sadness in this horse's eye? I know I'm not imagining it. It feels like this horse has been, I don't want to say forced, but it feels like this horse is carrying a heavy load up to the top of the mountain, and it's tired. It doesn't want to carry it anymore. But it knows that it has a job to do, and it knows that once it reaches the top of that mountain, it can rest for a little bit. And what I immediately got from these two cards coming out this way is you might need to put in just a little bit more effort to bring this happiness into fruition. So if this is a creative endeavor where you're using your imagination to make art, or you're using your imagination to communicate in a new way, in an expressive way, whether that be writing, whether that be using your voice, the effort that you've put in has not gone unnoticed. I'm getting, wow, clear message from your spirit team is saying we've seen you struggle. We've seen you continue to trot and slowly walk up that hill with all of that weight on you. And it's just like one last push, one last little push towards the end is gonna bring that happiness in for you. So don't give in to this sadness, or don't give in to the idea that you even have to carry all that weight alone. I mean, obviously you're not a horse walking up the side of a mountain. You have a team, whether that be here physically, like your family and your friends to support you, or if it's just your spirit team we're talking about, you have some form of support that you can rely on. So share those worries, share those things that are keeping you from having that fortitude. Share it and express it with your spirit team so that they can help sort of take that weight from you, and they can help support you and push you up the mountain for those last couple steps, because it's these last couple steps that are preventing this happiness. It's the lifting your head and galloping, again with the horse idea, galloping forth, flapping those wings, trusting that the wind is going to uplift you and allow you to get that new perspective and allow you to have that freedom. Okay? It's just a little bit more effort that's required. So really, if I'm looking at all of these cards across the way, your happiness lies in some sort of venture where you're able to use your creative talents, your creative gifts to nourish your mind, but also manifest things into this 3D reality that you can share. Okay? Manifest things into this 3D reality that give you a sense of freedom. Wow, I just looked up and I didn't even notice there's this massive spider web above me, and it's a work of art. It's connected on 3 sides to the roof above me, and it's got all of these beautiful geometric patterns in it. And yes, it does have, you know, like debris and whatever caught in it. But that's it. The reason I looked up at it is because it looks like this imagination card with all the different angles and all of these like green blades. It's like what you're creating is beautiful. It's intricate. It's ornate. And you want to be able to have that freedom to create at will, because that's what makes you happy. And in the past, you've created, you've put out your ideas, you've put out these manifestations, and you haven't gotten the return that you wanted. And so in order for you to really reap those rewards, you're being encouraged by your spirit team to not give up yet. A little bit more, a couple more steps, that final push, and happiness will be yours across the entire experience. Okay? Happiness will be yours and will be celebrated with your spirit, with your soul tribe. Happiness will be yours, and you'll be able to enjoy that sweet cup of tea and appreciate it as you enjoy it. Not feel guilty for spending a little too much. Okay? That is your message. If you found it helpful, please consider giving it a like, comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube and this resonated with you, please consider subscribing as well. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful rest of your week, and I hope you seek all the happiness that is available to you. Take care.